Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
General Hospital sees Harrison Chase still completely wisecracked into allowing that Willow Tate is innocent. It looks like him being so naive about her is about to ruin everything for him, first his career and soon, perhaps, his marriage to Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. We're going to talk about how Chase and Brooke Lynn might fall piecemeal soon. Because indeed though Willow was set up not shamefaced, Chase isn't going to stop. He also wants to prove that Michael Corinthos is shamefaced, which would completely confirm her innocence. Willow's shocking transformation on General Hospital at one point. I suppose we can each agree Willow did feel like a decent human being. But that was before Drew Kane Quartermaine got his claws into her. Now Willow is getting worse by the day. I suspect everybody in Port Charles is going to know the verity about her ultimately, but I'm not sure Chase will ever believe that she's bad. Ever since Willow was indicted of shooting Drew, we've seen Chase as her biggest champion. He has defended Willow left and right. Chase pitfalls everything for Willow on GH. Chase was probing the firing in his own time to try and prove Willow is innocent. Indeed, while the PCPD was erecting a case against her and had some enough good substantiation. Nethermost line, Chase put his career on the line by taking Willow's side. Chase was adamant that it was worth it to prove that Willow was framed. To be fair, Chase was completely induced that Michael not only shot Drew but framed Willow for his crime. Now, Chase has ruined his fellowship with Michael because of this false supposition of Willow's innocence. Indeed worse, Chase has also just about ruined his fellowship with Dante Falconeri, who was his stylish friend. He defended Willow and indicted Dante of bias and of guarding his family, Michael, at all costs. When Chase was on the stage at Willow's trial, he was really hard on Dante. We saw Chase saying under pledge at the trial that he thinks the PCPD went about the disquisition the wrong way. Chase said they didn't probe anybody differently, they targeted Willow. Of course, Dante was furious and so was DA Justine Turner. The fallout of Chase's reduction to Beat Bobby after that, Chase got disrated back to Beat Bobby. And now his professional future is at threat. It's kind of sad because Willow is 100 shamefaced and Chase is completely wrong about her. We all know Willow is headed down an indeed darker path. Once her crooked secrets come out, Chase is going to look like an indeed bigger fool. Formerly all the unattractive verity comes out, it's going to be egg on his face. However, this Willow failure isn't the first time Chase jeopardized his career as a Bobby. Over a woman, if you flash back. He did it before, and not just any woman, mind you, but Willow's awful binary family, Nellie Benson. This was part of Chase Port Charles history. Back in the day, before Nellie also wound up in Port Charles, she killed notoriety close to her. Chase was assigned to work the murder case of Nellie's fiancé, Zachary Grant, down in Florida. The Joe had plutocrat and Nellie induced him to push his family down and leave everything to her in his will. Also Nellie killed her fiancé and tried to make it look like a kayaking accident. History repeats itself with Wicked House. Nellie and Willow, the entire family swore that Nellie had killed him, but she swore she was innocent. Also Chase got assigned to the case and Nellie enticed him into believing her. Chase fell for Nellie's innocent act. Chase was wrong also, too, because Nellie was shamefaced just like Willow is now. But Chase has been telling anybody who'll hear that Willow is innocent and she isn't the kind of person that could shoot notoriety. It turns out Chase is veritably wrong. Willow has changed. At this point, she's enough much pure wrong. Chase got suckered by one twin, Nellie, and now the other binary, Willow, has him completely wisecracked and all twisted up. This week we're going to see Brooke Lynn upset at Chase. She confronts him because it doesn't feel like it's enough for him that Willow was acquitted at trial. Chase really wants Michael to go down for this. They indeed came to blows over it. Brooke Lynn reaches her breaking point on General Hospital. BLQ is raving at Chase and asking, "Why wouldn't you let this go?" I suppose he's also being asleep to his woman. Because Willow's binary family, Nellie, is the reason Brooke Lynn can't sing presently. Do you flash back that? Nellie slashed Brooke Lynn's throat confidentially at the nurser's ball several times agone. That's not on Willow, that's on Nellie, but Chase got played by Nellie and now he's getting played by Willow. Chase seems willing to ruin his career over Willow. Unless he does commodity drastic to alter the course he's on, Chase is going to ruin his marriage over Willow also. The nethermost line is Chase should be putting his woman first before anybody differently. Rather, Chase keeps putting time and energy into trying to prove Michael's guilt. It's as if it's not enough that the jury set up Willow not shamefaced. In the end, Chase is going to look like the biggest fool in the world when the final verdict comes out. I suspect that'll be sooner rather than laterally because Willow's current scheme to frame Michael for shooting Drew is going to blow up in her face. Will Chase exit Port Charles? That's verified in General Hospital spoilers. In the end, I suppose Willow is going to be exposed for shooting Drew but can't be arrested for it since she formerly faced trial. Still, Willow could be fulfilled if they find out she caused Drew's stroke. I'm hoping she's also busted for intruding with baby Daisy and driving Sasha Gilmore out of the country. In the short run, Willow's plot to frame Michael may gain traction, especially after she slipped Drew's spare crucial onto Michael's crucial ring. I'm sure Chase is going to feel justified for a while. He may push back on Brooke Lynn and tell his woman, "Look, see, I was right. It was Michael." But ultimately, Willow's falsehoods are going to catch up with her. Her world's going to come crashing down and Chase is going to look like an idiot for defending Willow. Chase eats crow on General Hospital. Chase is going to owe Michael, Dante, and utmost of all his woman, Brooke Lynn, and reason for his conduct. All this has Chase and BLQ's marriage on a rocky path. Part of that's down to Chase wanting to borrow and Brooke Lynn continuing to push back and put those plans on hold. I suspect effects are going to get worse for Chase and Brooke Lynn until Willow is eventually exposed. All of this may be setting the stage for Josh Swickard's exit from General Hospital. We reported a leak from a dependable source a while back that said Chase was going to be written off GH and Swickard would be exiting. Now that Dante suspended Chase and he got busted down to beat Bobby, he's thinking of leaving law enforcement. You would suppose after Nellie swelled Chase that he'd learn to be more conservative, especially around women from this gene pool. In the end, I'm really hysterical that Chase is going to ruin his life and his marriage over this Willow obsession. It could bring Chase everything. I suppose all that could be to lay the route for his character's exit. We'll see. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Maxie Jones' concession may break 3 hearts and change everything. Once Maxie comes out of her coma, she may make a big admission that'll lead to multiple romantic shakeups in Port Charles. Nathan West and Lulu Spencer kissed during the blizzard before admitting their passions for each other. Although Lulu and Nathan decided a love would be too complicated, they're both redefining that agreement now. Lulu will always love Dante Falconeri on some position, but they're in a good place as musketeers and co-parents. Dante's heart belongs to Sam McCall indeed, though she's gone, so Lulu respects that. Of course, there's still the issue of Maxie, but Nathan knows she suffered him and moved on with her life. Maxie eventually set up happiness with Damian Spinelli, so Nathan is starting to suppose perhaps he could find happiness with Lulu, too. Nina Reeves pushed Nathan to follow his heart to Lulu if that's where it's leading him. Nathan decided he would, so it sounds like he'll get on the same runner with Lulu about their romantic future. Still, Maxie's coma awakening will catch Lulu and Nathan off guard. Nathan and Lulu might indeed sizzle in bed together before Maxie makes her on-screen return on February 12th. Anyhow, just when it looks like Nathan and Lulu might get their own happy ending, Maxie will wake up and realize Nathan is back despite his early demise. There's a good chance GH will deliver plenitude of Nathan and Maxie flashbacks to play up just how important they meant to each other. Nathan was the love of Maxie's life, so his comeback may feel like a phenomenon, at least once she's convinced that it's real. At some point, Maxie may offer a huge admission that tugs at Nathan's heartstrings and pumps the thickets on whatever's passing with Lulu. However, Nathan just might delve in if Maxie makes an "I no way stopped loving you" concession and insists she's ready to begin a new chapter as a couple. Nathan's passions for Maxie could rush back harder than he anticipated, or maybe he could just feel indebted to try under the circumstances. That doesn't mean Nathan's passions for Lulu will go down, so his heart may break if he has to push her down again. Likewise, Lulu will be agonized if she's forced to step away after nearly having a relationship with Nathan. Plus, Spinelli will deal with some desolation of his own if Maxie chooses Nathan over him. No matter how it all goes down, General Hospital spoilers say Maxie will get updates on some wild Nathan news once she wakes up, so don't miss the marvels ahead. In Port Charles, belief can be a weapon. Sometimes it saves people. Other times, it destroys them. Harrison Chase is about to learn, again, that blind faith doesn't just break hearts. It burns down entire lives. Right now, Chase is standing at the center of a slow-moving disaster, utterly convinced he's the hero in a story where he is actually being led straight into the fire. And the cruelest part? He still believes Willow Tate is innocent. Not misunderstood. Not complicated. Innocent. That belief is no longer just a professional mistake, it's a personal curse. One that threatens his badge, his reputation, and his marriage to Brooklyn Quartermaine. And unlike the last time Chase went down this road, the fallout won't be confined to his career. This time, everything is at stake. The illusion of innocence. There was a time, long ago, when Willow seemed genuinely good. Compassionate. Grounded. Someone who wanted to heal rather than harm. That version of Willow feels like a ghost now, a memory that lingers just long enough to confuse the people who refuse to see what she's become. Chase is one of them. Since the moment Willow was accused of shooting Drew Kane, Chase positioned himself as her loudest defender. While others hesitated, he charged forward. While evidence stacked up, he dismissed it. While the PCPD followed procedure, Chase followed instinct, and instinct told him Willow was being framed. He didn't just believe it. He needed to believe it. Because if Willow was innocent, then Chase was still a good cop. Still a good judge of character. Still the man who could see truth when others were blinded by bias. But that truth was already slipping through his fingers. A career offered up on the altar. Chase didn't wait for permission. He didn't wait for evidence. He launched his own investigation while the department was building a case against Willow, convinced that the system was wrong and he was right. That choice cost him everything. He alienated Michael Corinthos by insisting, publicly and privately, that Michael shot Drew and framed Willow. He accused Dante Falconeri, his best friend, of corruption and favoritism. He implied Dante would protect his brother at any cost, even if it meant letting an innocent woman rot. When Chase took the stand at Willow's trial, he crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. Under oath, he criticized the entire investigation, claiming the PCPD zeroed in on Willow and ignored other suspects. He framed himself as the lone voice of reason in a department blinded by tunnel vision. Dante was furious. Justine Turner was livid. And the department was done with him. The demotion was swift and humiliating, back to beat cop, stripped of authority, stripped of trust. His future as a detective evaporated overnight. And the irony? Willow was guilty all along. History screaming to be remembered. This should have felt familiar to Chase. Because it wasn't the first time he torched his career for a woman who played innocent while hiding something monstrous. Years ago, before Port Charles ever knew the name Nellie Benson, Chase was assigned to investigate the death of her wealthy fiancé in Florida. The story was clean on the surface. A tragic kayaking accident. But the victim's family knew better. They were convinced Nellie had isolated him, manipulated him, and then killed him for his money. Chase met Nellie. Chase believed Nellie. Chase defended Nellie. She seduced him with vulnerability, convinced him she was misunderstood, persecuted, wronged by powerful people who wanted to destroy her. Chase ignored his instincts, ignored the red flags, ignored the family's desperation. And he was wrong. Nellie was guilty. Now, years later, history isn't just repeating itself, it's mocking him. Because Willow, Nellie's twin, has done the impossible. She's followed the same blueprint, refined it, perfected it. And Chase fell for it again. Brooklyn's breaking point. Brooklyn Quartermaine can see it clearly. And that's what makes it unbearable. It's not enough for Chase that Willow was acquitted. It's not enough that the trial is over. It's not enough that the jury spoke. Chase still wants Michael to pay. He wants proof that Michael is guilty, not for justice, but to validate his own belief in Willow's purity. That obsession poisons everything. Brooke Lynn confronts him, furious and hurt, demanding to know why he can't let this go. Why proving Willow innocent matters more than their marriage. Why he keeps reopening wounds that should have healed. What Chase fails to grasp is how personal this is for Brooke Lynn. Nellie Benson, the woman Chase once defended, slashed Brooke Lynn's throat years ago. That attack ended her singing career. It stole her voice, her passion, a piece of her identity. And while Willow didn't commit that act, she shares the same blood. The same manipulative instincts. The same capacity for cruelty. Chase doesn't see the pattern. Brooke Lynn does. And every time Chase defends Willow, it feels like he's defending the nightmare that nearly destroyed her. A marriage under siege. Chase keeps telling himself he's doing the right thing. That once Michael is exposed, everything will fall into place. That Brooke Lynn will understand. She won't. Instead, she's watching her husband spiral, risking his career, reopening old traumas, and pouring all his energy into a woman who doesn't deserve a second thought. Chase should be prioritizing his wife, their future, their plans. Instead, he's fixated on a crusade that's already cost him nearly everything. Their disagreements turn sharper. Louder. More frequent. The unspoken resentment over adoption plans, Chase pushing forward, Brooke Lynn hesitating, only adds fuel to the fire. Unless something changes, this marriage doesn't survive. The lie that almost wins. In the short term, Willow's scheme may appear to work. Planting Drew's spare key on Michael's key ring creates just enough doubt to reignite suspicion. For a while, Chase will feel vindicated. He'll point to the evidence and insist he was right all along. See? It was Michael. But lies don't age well in Port Charles. Willow's secrets are too big. Too twisted. Too layered. When the truth finally erupts, that she shot Drew, that she caused his stroke, that she manipulated evidence and people alike, it will flatten everything in its path. And Chase will be standing in the wreckage, exposed as the man who defended a monster. The crow he'll have to eat. When the dust settles, Chase will owe apologies he can never fully make right. To Michael. To Dante. And most of all, to Brooke Lynn, the woman who begged him to see the truth before it was too late. But some damage can't be undone. With his career stalled, his marriage fractured, and his judgment publicly dismantled, Chase may reach the inevitable conclusion: Port Charles has nothing left for him. That may be exactly where this story is headed. Leaks suggest Chase's downward spiral could be laying the groundwork for his exit. Demoted. Disillusioned. Considering leaving law enforcement altogether. Considering leaving town. If that happens, it won't be Willow who pays the highest price. It will be Harrison Chase himself. Elsewhere, hearts on the brink. As Chase's world crumbles, another emotional storm gathers. Maxie Jones' eventual awakening threatens to shatter multiple lives at once. Nathan West and Lulu Spencer, drawn together by grief and unfinished feelings, stand on the edge of something real, just as Maxie's return threatens to pull Nathan backward into a love he thought was gone forever. If Maxie confesses she never stopped loving Nathan, the consequences will be devastating. Lulu will be crushed. Spinelli will be blindsided. Nathan will be torn between obligation, history, and the fragile hope of something new. 3 hearts broken. 1 confession. No clean endings. The fire keeps spreading. This is what General Hospital does best: slow destruction disguised as hope. Encouraging words that lead people deeper into danger. Threats whispered instead of shouted. Characters baptized in consequences they never believed would reach them. Harrison Chase is walking that path now. And when the truth finally comes, when Willow's mask shatters completely, it may already be too late to save his career, his marriage, or his place in Port Charles.